남다들은 저렇게 사시는 된된 밤에를 랭그베데 셔런인데 농의 최근세 도저된 건 놀러 찾아노 언제진도 노들은 뭐지 인제가도 전매신다 마시와도당 속에라마 바벨로벤솔라치도 세라근도 되제 다니엘레 다게 담에 자게 용손제 장초님베 남긴 karma 미제 대베지 조도이니 오메제게 인게 보론도 대동상제 빈게 오니 롱샘제오롱은 손된데마 사회라메 샤란게 조엔데 다당 생전 남제 로초존 로라 징게 람당 제람도 로라 징게 람도 람출바 달로라 징게 람도 출바이 시조 장로 징게 람도 류젠 근게 저단에 신당에 담제도에 농거래 장치게 진내 제발 존조로 다른 대표견 정말로 자시들이 쉬에나 잡지도 되네 선전 탐지게도 노조의 상시 고방 도구의 디체도 진행이 선배 삼바자제와 장조 샘게 군롱원도 당내 세르치
Trashidele to everyone who are watching, listening, teaching, and please listen to Dharma with the vast motivation of bodhicitta, thinking that I would like to become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings.
Then the Richitang also 제시대 도정은 디나네 리우 당보 배 나속된 배 리우 세계를 배 나속된 배 리우 나라 배 넘버 2기도 되네 디나네다 배 넘버 숨데 공동성 네다 숨데 하대요는 바달라레.
So generally speaking, our subject, our topic is the sutra, the wise and foolish, and the first chapter we are working on, which is called the presentation of various metaphor or examples, and in there are 6 different metaphors or histories, and out of 6 we have already done 3 of them. Now we are at the 4th.
Then in the ring. Then 강조 다 최대 접으시나야리 다 나랑기 삼자 접으시나야리 대 가르드나 지상랑 로직 니징네 나랑 삼슬라다 강조 다 고당보 샤사야 강조 방고래 되네 나 가르세사고래 마르세 방고래 데 고축인디다 나랑기 통술라 낭술라 되네 당보 고축인디다 아주 닝미기 melам 고축도 잡지 자를 뭐지 에기 되네 고축바리 디제네 되네 다 강조 정화이신으로 장관은 마치기 되네 숨 고소발이 대전에 되네 빨리 저원 감마 제외용 감마가 우진되는 거지 되네 고소발이 되네 디 송야 디솔랑 나랑 삼수지 코르송 가래도선 디조 미유 조디 첼로 주비기 독탑 접어지 그래도 300이 나랑 삼수지 코르송 이나양 다시나 되네 수직이 이치 저 계기 말에 섬네 되네 술에 시셔 마중 되네 다리디 셀라 시고야디 줌선 접어지 가르이스나 Then Katang Duntang Madela, then Belgium, Kuzi Shabe, then Yundu, then Shugain, Sumba, then Tedang Ted, the Jalwatabaji, do some tongue, then the ring tea, Kolang around some Shugain.
Chatter Virginia, Jampusi Dalamaro, Dalamare. Okay. Somehow, even we are working on this sutra, I would like to say something which is very much related with the teachings that His Holiness gave few days ago, as you all know, about the vegetarianism. I think it was initiated long time ago by Chara Rinpoche, one of the highest Rinpoche in Nyingma tradition, during one of the Nyingma Molam. Then after that, His Holiness the Dalai Lama also emphasized on it very strongly. And then after that, His Holiness the 17th Gyalwang Karmapa, Argentinian Dorje, very strongly emphasized on that. And then actually, I had an idea a few years ago that what they are doing is to prevent the aeon of 10 years old. That's what we call it, the Tselo Chuba in Tibetan, which means the shortest lifespan of human being is predicted to be 10 years. So I had an idea that their holinesses are doing this to prevent or to stop that eons. And then, but somehow I didn't dare to say to anyone because I didn't think anyone will believe me. But somehow, during this past teaching time, His Holiness the 17th Gyalwang Karmapa said that he would like to pray to be long life, and also he asked us to pray for his long life. So I think now is very good time to say something about that, which I think is very much related with that teachings. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that.
Marse Pang, Konriki Yang Pang, Loma Shendala Yang, Pang Kulma Jen, Marse Pang, Karte Rola, Tene, Chabje Magician La Pede, Konglo Jadang Tuk, Konglo Jadang Tuk Tamba Shubare, Chabje Magigi, Dejala, then Chamgun Machi, then Panjari. 공로 절 학습 주야기 다 가시기 저당 죽숨세기도 가시기 저당 종화되기도 다 강자를 절 학습 주야기 단다시시 나는데 요로 대양 다 강서 구세된데 템버 중야디 가르스나 마르세 빵 가르셀라 강서 가르세기 남서 정보 템벌라 때니 디 좀대로 보지 이말가나 통과도 많아 삼기도 다 디제라 Then the bell Jawankarma Ugyen Trinley Dorji, then Marse Pangore, Carse Savore, then pay Conso Tushi, Chimbugi Cornet, then there's an Nambala Tene, Ta Kongi Kusi Temba Shugain, say Sunyadi, so Chapta. Ganso kuzi temba chaya di tene marse pang karse tela temba tene da ganso kuzi temba chaya ki jumsen judogo de dire to sambege manangi nyamnyong dogo chorwa dogo de nijo.
So I had kind of feeling that the Gyabje Chara Rinpoche actually was 106 years when he passed away. So he lived very long, and I think that is also a result of being vegetarian for so long time, because he was a vegetarian for a long time, and not only he was, also he asked all of his students to be vegetarian, and he emphasized a lot on the vegetarianism. So I think the one of the cause for him to live so long is to be a vegetarian, I think. And then also, as we all know, that His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama have kind of promised that he will live more than 100 years. I'm not sure exactly. Some people say 115 or some say 113. But anyway, he himself said that he is going to live more than 100 years. So I think that also, because he encouraged many people to be vegetarian, and he emphasized a lot on vegetarian, and then I think that will cause him to live that long. And then we all know that His Holiness the 17th Gyalwang Karmapa very strongly encourage everyone who has connection with him to be vegetarian, and he is vegetarian. He has been vegetarian for a long time now. So I think this also will be one of the main cause for him to be to live long, as he said he would like to live long a few days ago. So and I had this kind of feeling.
Lama Gewishing Tiso, Kusitemba, the lesson showed the Langaran so young, the Jesu Chumni, then da Carse, da Mancho, the Carse Panghin, Trobajigre, in a Mabangan, the so young, the Sola Kulmachi, then a Chumsen Yanda Vashene, then Carse, Marse Pangne, Carse Rene, Lama Gewishing Tisogi, Kusitemba, Nanshin, Aran so young. 대당 전전 파 대투비아직 되네 전전 공남부 구세 가세 때만 알아서야 세링부 대가서 대투비아기 삼로지 땅 거바직 두 삼기도 되네 뒤인데 다 뭐서 셔제 메나야 대린 등상기도 설라다 집인 나라 셔내제야도 송내 퇴야도 되네 되네세네 다 공도 구세가 되시고 가서야 돼서 되네 같이 슈 셰제 송퇴네 쇼에기 고합지 종사를 삼비게라와.
So I think again same for us also same. If you become vegetarian, then we will live longer than non-vegetarian, and then if you are already vegetarian, it's very good. If you are not, then if you are, some of your friends are not, then you should encourage them, because since all these great teachers are living so long, if we could also live that long, then we can receive more and more teaching from them. Even we cannot meet in the person, but now because of the technology, you can see form, you can see the sound, you can hear the sound, so it's not much different than actually receiving the teaching in person. Therefore, I think there's a great reason of important reason for us to be vegetarian.
Then, 강도 다 Lama Gewishing so Kusi Tenyaki Chedola Naranzo, that Chitang, then Gonka Chechung Yonsu Dovan, then Shabden Shabrin Drupdam Drupshin Bare. Gomba Chewa Chewala Tubigi Shabrin Chewa Chunga Chunga the Tubigi Shabrin Chunga. Then I shang around to that gate also Ganso Dilla Soyagi Gogap Meva in Lantene. 가서 브레드딩기 공대 탐내 파 룸디 공바나 랑고마라 소바 공바 체제 중용 탐제라 되네 다 군제로 보시라 저니 다 되네 소자 저거 되네 피네 다 셔름 파 강도 다 냠도 냠럽 저거 지는 되네 지는 속이 요래 디소양 되네 라마디소 꾸데샤베 때미기 되네 샤브르미 이 강랑 가서기 마르세 방네 가르세 지게 당 사야지 당도 렘바 있나 다른 샵든 당다 줍신비게 샵든 디수기 강하다 되네 뉴바 첨버 다다 줍신비 샵든도 뉴바 첨버당 되네 강소 뽑아 첨버 차야지 용거를 씁니다.
So all the monasteries, the big monasteries and little tiny monasteries, they are doing their best ritual and to prolong the life of all the teachers and the Kalyan Mitras, especially in general, and the long life of His Holiness the 17th Gyalwang Karmapa in particular. And then, for example, like the big monastery or big seat are performing huge pujas, rituals, and little monastery are doing according to their capacities and so forth. And then from KDT also, since because of the situation we cannot do much here, but we are sponsoring. Our president has already conducted that, like sponsoring pujas in Rumtek and Ralang and so forth. But somehow, from the individual, if we can emphasize on vegetarianism, then all this puja will be more powerful, more effective, and then there will be a more better result. Therefore, it's important for us to be vegetarian.
The Jumsen Sum Droboji, Narangi Tongato, the Kanzo, Gueva Sum Droboji, Marse Pang, Carse Downley and Dilla. That could go on the Shibana, Jumsen Dambody, Lama Gavation in this, good September. Niba the Rangyang Tsering Bocha Gavation in this, good Yam Yam Chane, then Kachu Sungi Damba Sungi. Chela then long relay, long jaggy, go up tower near. Somebody then that cello jubigi talked up the then council Chedu, then Jumsen Goba Sum Droboji, the legit Tongato.
So primarily, from my point of view, I see three reasons or purpose and three benefits to be vegetarian. The first is to prolong the life of teachers, gurus, and Kalyan Mitras. And then the second is to prolong one's own life, so we can live as long as teachers are alive, and we can keep receiving teaching from them, and we can enjoy the amrita of their speech. And then finally, if everyone can become vegetarian, I think it will also prevent the eons of the lifespan of 10 years. So these three are the reason I see from my point of view, and then benefit.
Then that cello jubi totangi totaji ma shugin, the carriers 다 단당가서 깔바 성버딜라 상제 동자니 폐기여세요로 다 디인디
동자니스 동자지도 이르벨라
동자니
동자지도 이르와 나서
되네 디인디 다 상제 시폐더라 다 간레스 페라드나 첼로 제티기 qabla 상제 코라지 페네 최기 콜로 콜 되네 페더라 되네 첼로 시티기 qabla Sertup Sangye Sertup Pene Chugi Kolo Koran Yangali Detalari. Then it's Hello Nitigi Kabla Sangye Husung Pene Chugi Kolo Koran Yangali Detalari. Then it's Hello Jabi Kabla Sangye Shaje Duba Pene, then it's Chugi Kolo Koranita, Tanda Sangye Shaje Dubi Temba Dela Nevan. Tanda Sangye Pebi Kabla Cello Jabegi Dusuri. Tanda Momajena cello sumjena shipju konla lebigi ta zi dobu pamna dene dobuji chagi yore. Ta inaya dene ma ta gangso sangji gi temba deyang zo charne dene ma done cello jubala ta lo jule ringwa meba dene chayagi dusichi gyobare.
So when I'm talking about the lifespan of human being is 10 years, and to prevent that, what that means is, I think I need to tell a little bit about that. Otherwise, you won't understand what I'm talking about. Well, generally speaking, this eon is called the Kalpa Zangpo in Tibetan, which means the good eons. Or in Sanskrit, it's called the Batra, Kalpa Batra, Batra Kalpa, which means a good one, not a dark. We usually say dark eons and the good eons. So in these good eons, it is said that there will be 1,002 Buddhas coming to the world. And then out of 1,002, there has been so far four of them. And then when the lifespan of human being was 80,000. There was a Buddha called Korwaji in Tibetan. His Sanskrit name is Da Buddha. Okay, Khenpo Da Buddha, he appeared when the lifespan of human being was 80,000. He came and he taught and he passed away. And after that, that is the second, Sangye Trinley, or the Khenpo Da Buddha was the first Buddha of this particular Bhattara or the good aeons. And then after that, when the lifespan of human being was 40,000, and there was another Buddha who is called Sangye Sertup in Tibetan, or his Sanskrit name was Kanaka Muni Buddha. Kanaka Muni Buddha. So he came when human being lived up to 40,000 years. He came to the world, he taught, and he passed away. And then after that, when the lifespan of human being was 20,000, and I think this you all know, the past Buddha, Buddha Kashyapa. This is more well known than the earlier two in the West, I think. In Tibetan, all three of them is same. So Kashyapa or Sangye Wezung came, and then he taught and he passed away again. And then finally, when the lifespan of human being was 100 year, then our Buddha, the present Buddha, we call present Buddha because now is the time of his teaching. That's why even he passed away already, but we still call him the present Buddha. To Shakyamuni Buddha, our historical Buddha. So when he came to this world, it is said that the lifespan of human being at that time was 100 years. So if you calculate down, now it is around like 30 or 40, I guess. But anyway, it is said that and that it goes down and down until the lifespan of human become 10 years only, which means people longest they can live alive is only 10 years.
Oh yeah, that the ngomba zögi shirshak chene ma shue. Da sangye shasha du be temba de ya no da dene che tongro nyomong chero 닝망아 체로 도 데네 체로 주발라 레게요 체로 주발라 레디다 간데 자게요 레스나 데네 레게 람하베 체동 론이 주이노 데네 레게 람니 람 미게월 하바를 제베 미 탐제게 되네 미게월 타 찍도 제베 미남 체통으로 줄네 타를 로니 줄레 지더링야 미토바 이노 로줄레 타니 리고 차야 매바는데 이거는 대다를 풍절 탐지기 자원이 로당 레로라 차바오 다 된데 차고야기 자와 가버 투바레스나 다 로디 카세기 로다 샤서 로 마르셀라소 발라 로 세파당 되네 레로 뇽레 라 차바 주디니기 전에 되네 강조 뇽몽바 숙치마 되네 차야지 자와 디니를 두게요레 되는.
And I am going to base on Abhidharma by Vasubandhu and commentary by the Migyu Dorje, the eighth Karmapa, about this the 10 years, lifespan of 10 years. So, in Abhidharma, generally when the teaching of the Buddha comes to its end, and all these kleshas become more strong and strong for the people, and all these 5 degeneration become more strong and strong, then at that time, people's lifespan will be only 10 years, and nobody will live more than that in the world. And in the Abhidharma root text, Vasubandhu says, because of their strong karmic paths, their lifespan shortens to their 10 years. And then Migyu Dorje says, Migyu Dorje explained that, he says, because people conduct very strongly non-virtuous action, and their lifespan become 10 years old, and no matter what you do, you cannot live more than that. And then he said, the main cause of all this problem is because of being attached to laziness and the taste. So taste here should mean more mainly non-vegetarian taste.
다 텔로 주벌라 레 차르네 다 두수 간데지 샤르기레 되나 다 천기 결바 네기 결바 모기기 결바 두수 숨디 중기레 세월에 깔바 천당 네당니 모기다기 차르친도세 다디 숨디기 되네 텔로 주바디다 차르친스나 타두에레도 텔로 주비기타 미남 텔로 주바나 바르겔 차르친바인데 다 바르겔 직다 차로고요렌 깔바 천당 네당니 모게다기 차르친도 다 천기 당보 천기 깔바중 데네 모게 깔바중 네기 깔바중 데네 모게 깔바중네 데네 첼로주베기 강소 깔바디 미시 다 타두고 조고요 여러분 셰켈바 직 족발라 숨게 족발 되징 세다 직라 네기 켈바도 천기 켈바도 네기 켈바도 무기 켈바 숨게 되네 중기레 디 첼로주바 직라 중기레세 되긴 직당 양로번 독매기 룩수 따르제나 첼로 숨주발라 천기 켈바 중 첼로 니슈발라 모기 결바 네기 결바 중 첼로 주발라 모기 결바 중게레 되네요. 디 로번 통매기 시에서 대대 메tro버지 송어는 라라다 버겔직 모기 타르친 데네 버겔직 네기 타르친 데네 대제직 생기 쪽버도 방 예세 다디 양 네기 결바 직이 되네 첼로주바 직차 양 제마 첼로주바 직 중도 내기 결배제 양 제마 첼로주바 직 중도 된 모게 결배 타르징이래서 되네 되설지양 요 되설 메도 숨도버지 요 대방이다
당보디 저 관계 대방이서라 숨게 줘버디 당보디 저 관계 공방이서라 예 깔바직 줘발로 숨게 줘본 되서기디 통맥이 되버다. 당보도 인얘기 되버스. And now it says when the lifespan of 10 years for human being happens, there will be 3 bad kalpas or eons. Kangen bad kalpas. Some people also translate 3 ages of calamity. How do you pronounce? Calamity. Yes. Some people translate that way, but if I translate literally from Tibetan, Kalngen means bad kalpa. So anyway, it is not different than the ages of calamities because these are bad. So it says in Tibetan it says Kalngen Sum means the 3 bad kalpas, which are the if you are interested in Sanskrit, I will read the Sanskrit first. Tibetan also we say Tsöngi kalpa, Negi kalpa, Muge kalpa. In Sanskrit, if you are interested in, maybe you might know also. So first is called Shastranta kalpa, which is the eons of weapons in English, in the meaning. And then the second is Durbikshakanda kalpa, which is the eons of pandemic or epidemic, or there is another word also, many words. Anyway, and then that is famine. So Durbikshakanda is muge, and then Roganda kalpa is the eons of pandemic. Okay, so anyway, these are the 3 bad kalpas that is talking in the Abhidharma. First, it says the eons of weapons, and eons of pandemic, and eons of famine, right? Famine, okay. Muge. So, according to Vasubandhu, the Abhidharma Kosha, it says all will completed in one kalpa. Again, kalpa has a intermediate kalpa, which is called if you are interested in Sanskrit term, it's called antakalpa. Antakalpa is the intermediate kalpa. So this is called intermediate kalpa. So all these intermediate kalpa of 3 bad kalpas, the eons of weapons, eons of pandemic, and eons of famine is completed in one kalpa. That's what it says. But somehow Asanga says something different. Asanga says Asanga, the Acharya Asanga, let me translate directly. Lopen is Acharya or master, and then Thogme is Asanga. He said, when the lifespan of human being is 30 years, then there will be the eons of famine. First he said famine. And when the lifespan of human being is 20 years old, then there will be the eons of pandemic. And then when the lifespan of human being is 10 years, then there will be the eons of weapons, and respectively, Koremishindu in Tibetan. So the root words from Vasubandhu, it says, is weapons, pestilence. Okay, he put pestilence. I say pandemic, so it's almost same because pandemic is easier for me. Pestilence and famine that bring an aeon to its end. Okay, last one.
Oh yeah. Di luktarna seta kaba chigla di sum chelo chuba chigla sumga jungba gi di luktarna. De se minam chelo chuba la de lokdang ta logim ta phama pinchal dizola ta sigul meba logim jegen dizra no de lokdang. Dene pongbe ta sajume pongbe 양아외 실기 있는데 구어당 파마를 미진 바속 록체기 균에 띠버를 주로 대덕 뇌선 펜준 은베 리덕 통화신도 뇌바 버위 신엄 봉화랑바 천년버를 주르신 직속 직이죄도 대세 뇌바 대덕이 미마인 남기 림네 다 소르미롱위기 림네 다 동용거리다 다대기 림네도는 동대 소르미롱위 친의 덕중은 대세 녀바 대덕이 남게길 할라속비 차르 미법대 차르 매법 델라데네다 무기 다 남바 숨중기래 그래서 다 무기 남바 숨네 그래서나 갑제 와서나 지 르공가보는 니 토르메 소에 무기던 남바 숨지 중기래 그래서 갑조와니 제식 냠충어 덕 뒤에 치워나 치럽기 주의 사변도 갑제 나나 주족바 시바 점 대사월 제도 다 내식이 국조될 주르르니냐 하되와다 디수 사데게르도 양난이 갑징 제모제와 따를 무게 냠니 치위세 치기 찌글러 롱미니 벌을 갑부 갑제바타보 사디시는 얘네 루공 카르보니 류 감싱 쭈파 대덕 시원나 르바 카르보 줄라 천버시마 타바 니 데르 미주르에 카르보 미주르에 루공 카르보 대덕 뒤에 끌네 통온 다 군통거래 꼴와 대덕 토르메 괴데 사레 제바당 양 주의 내기 셉네 주덕 토르메 중와 추망보로 다 주르르니니 네 첨보직나로 저네 되네 미래리 토르마르리 켄네데네 수 토토제네 사게스로 다 토르메 좋아지네 사례제바다 주의 내게 있는 주덕 투르메 중과 추 망보로 끌리 추 통보를 제도 대덕래 타루이 다 되나지.
And again, there is another view about this. Some says the intermediate kalpa is brought to its end by famine first. Then after that, it is brought to its end by pandemic. Then finally, it is brought to its end by the weapons. But anyway, according to this tradition, at that time, when the lifespan of human being is 10 years old, then they are under the power of very strong kleshas, and then also poverty. And then mainly they have very strong kleshas of the sexual misconduct. And then they don't, nobody thinks stealing is bad things, and they also don't respect their parents and so forth. And there is a very big, strong kleshas. And therefore, everyone is full of hatred, harmful thought to each other, just like a hunter sees a deer. That's a deer. In Tibetan, it's a ritak. Ritak is not just deer. Ritak is actually, I think maybe I can say game. You know, game. Game includes all the deers, different things. Game, G-A-M, like just game. You know, people use this word for the animals that is hunted by the hunter. Okay. So if you say shawa in Tibetan, then I could say deer. But in Tibetan, it's a ritak. So I better use the game. Okay. Or maybe, for example, just like this. Anyway, this is just a metaphor. So maybe I also can say deer is more clear. Maybe I already explained in Tibetan. So it says people when they see each other, they feel like just like the hunter sees a deer. So whatever, and then their harmful thought become more blazing, kind of burning inside, and then whatever they took on in their, just like a log, L-O-G, log, log, okay, L-O-G, L-O-G, log, the wood become very sharp weapons, and then they kill each other. So, because of human beings, this mass non-virtuous action, the non-human being send, or I think in English I better say cause. In Tibetan it's a sen, tang. The non-human being send all the sicknesses because of the non-virtues that are conducted by human being. Then non-human being send this epidemic or rimne or contagious sicknesses that cannot be cured. So mirungwa means that cannot be cured, and chine means that definitely cause you death. So just like now, for some people, not for all people, but some people, many people already passed away, we know, by this COVID-19, just like this. The non-human beings send, because of the humans' bad conduct, then they send this pandemic, which cannot be cured, and which is definite to cause us or cause you to the death. And therefore, and also not that only like that, and then at that time again, the devas or gods don't send down the rain. Therefore, there will be drought. I know the spelling, but I don't know how to pronounce. I think it's D-R-O-U-G-S-T. Drought. Doubt, yeah, doubt. Doubt. Because of not having rain on time, it says, in the text says, anyway, the text says, because the human beings are conducting so much non-virtuous action that God stopped sending down the rains. and therefore there will be drought, right? Drought. And then, of course, since there's drought, then there's no crops. Then there is famine. That's the reason how you have famine. So it says also, Miki Dorji says 3 different famine. He gave example. One is says Muge Kapse. Kapse is a container actually. So let's it explain later. It says directly to translate directly from Tibetan. It says the container famine. And then the second one is Rukong Karpo, means the famine of the pile of white bones. And then the third one is, it says the famine sustained by the spoon, to keep you alive by the spoon. This is the name given by. So the first one, which says the famine of container, it says all those who are hungry and weak come together, and then they try to get something from where they keep the from the container where they usually keep the grains. But this is empty now. No more grains there. That's why it's called the famine of container. Okay, and then another one, and the Rukong Karpo. The second one, which means the pile of the heap, or let's say heap of the white bone, is again, it says when people have nothing to eat and they become dried up and become very and then they die. And when they die, then these who are still alive, they boil their bones and then try to get some marrows from this bone, and that's why it's called the famine of the heap of white bones. And then the last one, which is called the famine of sustained by spoon, it says then they try to get little bit grain from here then by the spoon. And then they boil together and they're just trying to get something from there by spoon. That's why it's called the famine of spoon. Spoon. Okay. Turme Chowa. Turme Chowa means sustain or keep alive by spoon. That's the name. That's all.
Oh, yeah. Da nghe là mình đi xiao zhang de zi di tene di dou tap di jie le xin de.
That's all.
Tene xiao nam da di ne gi gelwa du zi yun ning tong gan de jung ge re, chen gi gelwa du zi yun ning tong gan de jung ge re, mo gi gelwa du zi yun ning tong gan de jung ge re se na. xiao nam dang ne da wa dang lo dun dou do go rim xin xie be den. Sem jian de dao la chen jie sui ba xiao dun dang. Da xiao bo dun gi ring la zhong. Ne gi gelwa di da wa dun dang xiao dun do zhong. Mo gi gelwa di tene lo dun dang da wa dun dang xiao dun do zhong ge re se den.
So when Vasubandhu was presenting these 3 intermediate kalpas, the bad 3 intermediate kalpas, it has kind of 2 subdivisions. The first is the name of them, which we call, we already done, which is the eons of weapons, eons of pandemic, and eons of famine. And then second is the duration, the time, the period, how long they last. So in the text, root text, it says, for 7 days, then 7 months, then 7 years, respectively. That's what in the text, the Vasubandhu in the root text says, and Mikyu Dorje comment on it. He says, Semjen Deda, those sentient beings, killed by weapons for 7 days. And then, and then those people, sentient beings, are killed by sicknesses. It's just a sickness here, again, which is pandemic, for 7 months and 7 days. And then finally, they are killed by famine for 7 years, 7 months, and 7 days.
Oh yeah. 다 덴데기 kelba 중비기 값수 당 알아서 디 kalba 덴데라 메게야기 되네 탑시 가래 고거래서나 내가 콩보색비 돌래 군고 될라 강기 니마직 속죄바 방식 양덕발 동바 양덕발 랑데 소정기 동바 양덕발 랑데 네버제나 대다 챙기 결백이 결발을 되네 깨게 말이 되나 깨와랭게 말이 강식이 아루라 직담 다 단다 맨 짐바당는 놈도 직담양 겐줄라 빌와 제나 대 내기 버기 결발라 미게 월줄 야 강식이 세 넬세 강잠 겐줄라 풀나 대 무게 버기 결발을 미게 월주로 세다 대 결발숨나 미게야기 탑시 되네 대 숨내는.
So even there will be such bad eons or time, but we don't have to worry because it's up to you whether you will be born there or not. Because there is a method that you can prevent yourself being born in those times. So what is the method? And the Buddha said in the sutra, this sutra is, everyone use the Sanskrit word. So its Sanskrit word is Kutagara. So Khenpo Tseba in Tibetan or Kutagara Sutra. Kutagara Sutra or Khenpo Tseba, if I translate in English, I never saw translation in English, but what it means is the Khenpo Tseba means the pile or a heap of little houses. Like, for example, we have Dongpo Kompe Do, which translated in English like arranged like a tree. But this one I have never seen translation in it. Everyone is using the Sanskrit word. But what it means, Khenpo is a little house. A little house, Tsegpa is putting one on top of others. So anyway, I'm using the Sanskrit word, okay? Kutagatra Sutra. In the Kutagatra Sutra, if you search in Google, you will find everywhere the Kutagatra Sutra, okay? Kutagatra. If you want the spelling, Kutagara. Okay, Kutagara Sutra. So in this, Buddha said to Ananda, Ananda, if someone take vows of not killing or not taking life of others and remain in a Sobjung vow perfectly for just 1 day, and then he or she will not be born in that intermediate eons of weapons. If someone offer merely Arura, I think you all know, Arura is a Sanskrit word again, a name of medicine, to the Sangha, ordained Sangha, then he or she will not be born in the intermediate eons of epidemic. And if someone merely full of scoop food, a food full of scoop offered to the Sangha, ordained Sangha again, he or she will be not born in the intermediate kalpa eons of famine. That's what Buddha said in Khenpo Sangye Do.
다 네데 첼로 주비기 도탑 레도스 슈고에 저 자와도 가르스나 단다디네 강도 속주바 빵네 소종 니마 찍 숭바 이나양 되네 청기 결바들라 계기 말에 세는 숭 되네 다디 첼로 주번이 다 야 독거와 첼로 주번이 야 독비기 값술라 다 지성 독탑디 다 첼로 주번 망보샤기로 쿠버 레레라 첼로 주버를 샤르데 이네 단대기 쿠버 첼로 주버 딜라 첼로 주번이 야 간데스 독게레잖아 다 첼로 주벌라레디 미 수부디도 태봉 강세기도 편절에 대가지 요소를 그 되네 디지라다 디 켈바디도 차네 천기 켈바 무기 켈바 네 켈바 차네 되네 미디도 대가도 되디 디지라데니 미 투강제바지 되네 레기레스 다디 가르즈나 제사 잠바 공부기 두바르도 다 제사 잠바기 공부기 땜바도 고조요네 되네 미 투강제부 찍디라 레디 되네 미 상마 할레네 되네 처랑 수부 첨부 시지 첨부 되네 간데스니 중월에 세디 나 속지바 방발라 때네 되네 수부 첨부 차바이 나 되네 중화인 세네 그것이 되네 미 상매 당아서 속 처랑난신 차고고 코난신 차고도 첨부 시지 첨부 또 첨부 차고고도 되네 되네 미 상매 속지바 리머신의 방네 되네 첼로디 니슈라야 도고 소지바만 양 미창마 추강강 차 첼로 니슈 차 차르와당 양 디지라 미 추니 제바직다 레기레세 디레도 양 미창마 할레는 처럼 되네 수부 첨부 또 첨부 시지 첨부 간에 중화레스인데 다 디네 되게 나 마지막에 로겜이 나다 마지막에만 디 방발라 때문에 나 되네 중화레스데 되네 미상에 나서에 코난신 차오도 전에 다 로겜이 있는 마지막에는 되네 디다 방야기 탑시지네 상매 되네 당매 전진네 되네 편제철로 영업줄라야도 되네서네 미개와 주 차상레 메르메 방네 되네 첼로 제틸라 레바 레기리 첼로 제틸라 레바당 되네 나베 제다 잠바 도지되나 페네 되네 초기 콜로 고르게 노말소 발 상제 초기 콜로 고른 제바주니 땡기리.
So the reason why I feel to be vegetarian is a best method of preventing the eons of this lifespan 10 years is because in this sutra, or the Kutagara Sutra, also Buddha said, if someone just for one day take a vow of subjung and give up killing or taking the life of others, and then he or she will not be born in that eons of weapons. And then also it is said that because when the lifespan of 10 years for human being happens, then that is actually the very end of the teaching of Shakyamuni Buddha. So the next Buddha, as most of you know, is the Maitreya Buddha. And then how he appear in our world is again, it says, when the lifespan of human being is 10 years, then the size of human being is just like our thumb, it says. So about this big, the people. The size of human being is our size of our thumb. So all the human being will be only this big at that time. And then it says there will be one particular human being who has a size of cubit from here to here, bigger than the usual people. And that is actually the emanation of Maitreya Buddha. And then all others become very surprised because all of them are in the size of thumb, but only one person is in the size of a cubit, which is much, much bigger than all others. Then he asks this big person, why your size is bigger than us? Then he says, of course, he is the emanation of Maitreya Buddha, and he said, because I have given up killing. Then everyone says, oh, we also would like to become like you, so we would like to practice not killing. And then everyone become bigger, and then lifespan also increase until the 20 years. And then after that, there will be, and when everyone is the size of cubit, then there will be another person who has a size of the double cubit. That is also emanation of Maitreya Nath. Then I don't remember exactly whether it is stealing or sexual misconduct, but anyway, one of these two. Then other people who are in the size of cubit ask this person who is in the size of double cubit, says, why are you bigger than us? Then he says, because I have given up one of these, sexual misconduct or stealing, I don't remember exactly, but anyway, one of these. That because I have given up this non-virtuous action, then I become bigger than you. Then everyone say, oh, we also like to become like you. Then they give up. Then gradually, gradually they give up all the 10 virtuous actions. And then eventually, the lifespan of human being increased until to the 80,000. And then when the lifespan of human being become 80,000, then the real material Buddha will come to our world, and he will become enlightened, and become a Buddha at Bodh Gaya, and then he will turn the wheel of Dharma.
Lama Desogi, then Marse Pang, Karse down the Lang, Kusi Rembo Chaya di, Narang Sugi, Dinanshin Jene, Marse Pang, Karse Lang, Rimbo Janchana, that Cello Jubala Mardo Mangova, di Dotap di, that Tendeji Chagitu, something around Sora Doji Tenejon.
So I feel that way. If
somebody tap tap Yishi Jingi tap Dang Lam da Mambo Tengi or Wangasola, that the Celojubi doctor Celojubala Dromago Tapshe Lam Sambore Samidon.
So since all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are showing us many different methods and path, so I think all these great teachers who are emphasizing very strongly on vegetarianism is to prevent this happen, the lifespan of 10 years, I think. So if everyone become vegetarianism, not killing, then it's kind of sure that there will be no these aeons of the aeon of weapons. Therefore, I think it's very important. Last one.
Tamadi, then Nye Sheba de la Yichi, Tame, then Marse Pang, Carse, then Lama Kivishin, the Shabetan Yagi, Malam, then Celojubala Marto Mago, Celojube Doctor, Malam, then Ramian, then Lama Kivishin, the Susan Kusi Yamba, Yamba Jene, then Sungi to the Longe, Tamalam Shui.
So that's all for tonight. If you trust me, then I hope you, those of you who are not vegetarian yet, will become vegetarian. So you will have longer life, and then you will have longer opportunity to receive teachings from those Buddhas and Bodhisattvas who are in human form with us, who are emphasizing a lot on vegetarianism. And then also I would like you to pray for their wishes to be fulfilled for the benefit of all beings. So we will do now Sakya Nedolma. Oh, my Namgada, Yabes, Jen, Tamji, Lama, Sangye, Rimbo, Shalai, Gabson, Joe, Sangye, Shudan, Namlai, Gabson, Lama, Yedam, Kando, Zolai, Gabson, Joe, Rasan, Donsan, Shuye, Gabson, Joe, my Namgada, Yabes, Jen, Tamji, Lama, Sangye, Rimbo, Shalai, Gabson, Sangye, Shudan, Namlai, Gabson. Lama Yedam Hado Sola, Yapson Jewo, Ransan Donsan Shuye Go, Yapson Jewo, Ma, Namgada, Yembe, Simje, Tamje, Lama, Sangye, Rimbo, Chala, Yapson, Sangye, Shudan, Gindu, Lama, Yapson Jewo, Lama Yedam Hado Sola, Yapson, Ransan Donsan Shuye Go, Yapson Jewo, Man, Oman be moman 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 Oman be moman 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 Oman be moman be moman be moman be moman
Omane beme wa le da lo ya bora ke le gyora wa ye da ne da jo ya bo ze wa ya so sem je ye me ne be ne na yam go ji de kham so jo ya wa ya mai gyora je Chedai sheme te beze jai Teje je la le zendra zembe Sodra nege doye ngai jenye ba Jide kham so joye waraya mai gyure Chedai shenje khaya nan se baedra Nege me zang te be da jebe Nyeje ba dan da e be rem soge Luje go la ne baraya mai gyure Ne begere don da ye joda lobra ye ro son ya ro joda che ja za ye ne la zo ba ye lu je ga la se wa ya mai gre je Luzam dewa maya luya drozebe Jungye drobe do jinyeba Malu je daya do demba da Serene me dege demba rajo Lama gonjo songe doje da Kando shi gyon son me no doye da Lede loye wa me be de doye Owa ma la da se do barai joya lama gonjo son ye doje da Kando shi gyon son me no doye da Lede loye wa me be de doye Owa ma la da se do barai joya lama gonjo son ye doje da Kando je gyon son me no do da Lende lo wa me be de do Owa ma la da se do barai jo.
Long life prayer of His Holiness and true verses that His Holiness chanted. Then after that we will do our usual dedication.
Hoi gyakun nije rangso karmaya ba gyakun Trinley jikdo karmaya gyakun tunso wangkura karmaya Ugyen Tenzin Trinley shabden so Sishe panjir malu jungwe shi Tube tenpa yuren nebat Tenzin chibi kiwa tamban Panjir gyugyen yuren shabden so Chunga chenpo drayen Semjen dunga tagish Kalpa chewa samyes
Our regular dedication and the auspicious verses, the Tashi prayer.
Sonam deye tamje zikwanyi topne nyebe ranayam pamjen Teka nashe palayin trubayin sebe sod Rowan rowan shuwa jambal pawa chitar khenpa dan kondo sangpo teyan deshin Teta kunje jeson dan lobjin gewa dita tamje rabdo ngo sangye kusum nyebe sinlap Chenye meje tebe shela, gende meje tebe shela, chitra ngowa mala drupara isho, endushi le jai javen tene pa, karmaya pa de tembe nyembod, shodra kwen chai chabjen kemech, takpa rampe bebe, trashi sho.
Good night.